Hello guys, welcome to StudyIQ. My name is Amit Sani and I welcome you in this daily Hindu analysis video. In the morning these videos come, in the evening the PIB analysis videos. They come both in Hindu and English. You get these lessons and important datas, MCQs, facts and perspectives for prelims, for mains, for all these stages we are discussing things. And you see the preparation for your interview is also going on with these daily lessons, because thoughts are not developed within a span of time like 15 days, 10 days, 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. It takes more than 7, 8, 9, 10 months, 1 year, 1.5 year to reach up to that maturity of your opinions, that you have a certain perspective regarding important things and you discuss about important details, and you know which are the important sectors and what is our status there, what we are doing there, what we are doing in the economic sector, what we are performing in the trade scenario, world trade scenario on the international platforms, what are our involvements and how we are behaving with these certain group of countries and all. So all these things, they are getting developed daily, and after 6 to 7 months you will feel this difference. I'm talking about the people who just started this year, so you will feel this important difference. Now let's start the lesson. And these are important courses by StudyIQ, video courses. All are going to help you a lot, saving your money and saving your time. Sit at your home and study with these important courses created by experts and selected people. So extremely important these courses would be. Now the MCQ that I gave to you yesterday. Sakhi Matadan Kendras, they are set up in each assembly segment in Haryana, a state with gender bias, and they think women are incapable. So they are showing this example that women can manage the election process and they can be greatly involved in these sensitive processes where things are more for men. So this example is being set, and Sakhi Matadan Kendra are related to Haryana. It may be asked in some a small section of current affairs. Next, Shangri-La dialogue. Shangri-La is a hotel in Singapore, and this dialogue started way back in 2002, and it was actually started by IISS, International Studies Important Institute in UK, and it was a security forum created for academician, for important government ministers, leaders, security experts, and these other officials and other important luminaries. They all take part in this, and it is mainly discussing the security issues related to Asian nations. 28 countries are the partners here. You can see USA, Canada, they are also the partner. Australia is also the partner. Japan is also the partner. New Zealand is also there. So all important countries, Germany, France, UK, all are here. And International Institute for Strategic Studies, this is the independent think tank in UK. So this organizes this event annually. And track 1 intergovernmental security forum means the highest official, they talk on the issues directly, and it is happening since 2002. Latest by 2018 it happened. Next, double asteroid redirection test, DART mission. We know dart guns and we use them to hit a particular a person or maybe some other body, and we may change their direction. So they are trying a similar thing here with the asteroids. In the future, maybe some asteroid would attack Earth. It would not attack means Earth would come in the path of it, so it may hit Earth. So what we are going to do in those times? We have capabilities, we can attack these asteroids and all. So they are testing with this DART mission. It is by NASA, and this mission is going to start in 2020. It is going to reach there by 2021, and the impact event would be in 2022. And Didymur is the asteroid which they are going to attack with this DART gun here. And double asteroid redirection test, it's a planned space probe. Japan has also tried this kind of thing with a particular asteroid. So this is related to the Earth security in the future. Okay, DART is a joint project between NASA and Johns Hopkins Applied Physical Laboratory, APL. Remember that. Okay. Next, Nekton Mission, again a very important mission. President of Seychelles, you can see him here. He gave this particular speech from underground place, and it was under the water surface in the Indian Ocean. Live address delivered 400 feet underwater. Seychelles, it's an island country in western and southwestern Indian Ocean, and near Madagascar you will find that. And okay, the issue was regarding deep ocean, that we are missing a lot of things here. We are discussing about pollution, we are discussing about the biodiversity issues and all, but we are missing a very important point, that is about the deep oceans, and it is having very much unexplored details, and those may be very very important for us. Oceans are becoming more and more polluted. Everything is going towards oceans as a sink, and whether we talk about carbon dioxide or any other pollutant, everything is reaching up to oceans, and deep oceans are taking burden of everything. So we should focus on this area. Okay, so this speech was by Seychelles president. Next, choose correct regarding fourth resilient cities Asia Pacific. The main aim of this particular resilient RCAP Congress is for the future of the urbanized areas, how they are going to tackle the climate change challenges, and more and more population is going to be urbanized in 1 or 2 decades, and more than 50% people will live in cities. So it was launched in 2010, not in 15. That is wrong. Second is correct. Recently organized by ICLEI, International Council for Local Environmental Initiative, in association with the South Delhi Municipal Corporation. This is there in Bonn. Bonn is in Germany, and only 2 is the correct answer here. You see, RCAP, Resilient Cities Asia Pacific Congress, means the region wise Asia Pacific region wise it's a congress, but it's the body there in the city of Bonn. And ICLEI, Local Governments for Sustainability, and co-hosted by World Mayor Council on Climate Change in the city of Bonn. Okay, so that is the thing. And next question is regarding a Nirbhaya missile. The statement is just opposite. Actually, the range is 1000 kilometer, and the weight it can carry in terms of the warhead, that is 300 kgs. So this is wrong. You may be confused in the exam if they change these parameters. Okay, numbers would be same. So 1000 kilometers is the range. Speed is less than the speed of sound, because it is 0.7 Mach. It is not 1 Mach. 1 Mach means speed of the sound, that is 3 meter per second, around 1192 kilometer per second per hour. That is the speed of sound. And if it is more than that, then it is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 max. That means supersonic. If it is less than that, then it is subsonic speed. So this Nirbhaya missile is a subsonic missile. So D9 is the correct answer here. Now about the articles. On the political lines again, talking about the populism factor, why this impacts a lot, because it is not necessary that all people who are making the population of a country, they are very very wise, very intelligent and intellectual, and they are aware, and they are totally educated, know each and everything about the politics, constitution, economics. It is not the situation in most of the cities, most of the countries. So that is why populism and total populistic measures, talking on emotional lines to the public, and talking everything about populism, is not the best way in politics, and especially in a vibrant democracy like India, where a lot of challenges are there, and a lot of channels and directions are needed in the social situation, in the political situation, in the economic situation, in the employment situation, everywhere. So these directions would be given by leaders in the society, and mainly these representatives. So the highest authority taking people, they should be visionary, and they should have this courage that they sometimes may invite criticism, and they take the criticism effectively and positively, and they give direction to the society, and after some time maybe people would understand their ways. It has given the example of Gandhi and Nehru, that how they were courageous when Gandhi withdrew its non-cooperation movement in 1922, when this Chori Chora incident happened, and it went against the basic lines of the non-cooperation and non-violence, and the movement became violent. That is why he was so courageous that he went opposing the masses, and a lot of people, they were angry with Gandhi at first, but later they understood the way. In the same way, people were angry with Nehru when he talked about the atomic mission, and the establishment of IITs, IIMs, and important PSUs and all, and putting these things on priority, although the main challenge was of the food crisis at that time. So people discouraged him and pointed fingers at him and at his intentions, and they said that this is not good. So these two important events proved to be very, very effective and very positive for India. And the writer says that story has been a total change since then. Leaders are not courageous, they cannot show courage to invite any kind of criticism, and maybe some things are very, very problematic. You see, income transfer schemes and maybe the waiving these loans to maybe farmers or maybe some other corporate houses and all, maybe these are not good economics, but they do not have courage that they may go according to a particular plan that is needed for the future of India. And now they are going according to the whims and frenzies and emotions and important inclinations and affiliations, interests of the normal public. And the situation of this country is that a maximum number of people who are forming this public, they are less aware, they are less educated, their important knowledge about economics, constitution and the politics, geopolitics, that is hardly perfect. And maybe people are wise, but they are not able to take right decisions because they know very less. So this is the condition when we have in our country. Then populism should not be the best possible alternative here. That is the message in this article. Otherwise it says that the leaders are changed now, and on political lines talking about some leaders and all, this is not appropriate for us to talk about here, but this is on the similar lines that we have been talking a lot. This is the election phase, so a lot of articles of this kind, they will keep coming. Next article, it is extremely important. It talks about a very important issue related to Election Commission of India. It talks about the organizational structure, appointment and the removal of the election commissioners here. So S.Y. Qureshi is the writer, the former CEC. He makes a very valid point here. He remained in the system and he was there in the Election Commission of India, so he knows the details and the technicalities of the issue. So why these allegations of biasness, why these allegations of not taking care about the violations and very soft stand that has been taken by Election Commission of India against these violators? Why this thing is so, that is explained by him. So GS paper 2 would be important here. In this particular article, GS paper 1 was important, GS paper 4 was important, and a very important essay topic it is creating, because populism is a very important topic. In the similar case here, it talks about Election Commission of India again, and this issue would be related to this particular article, because it says that Election Commission of India is taking steps now, some steps, not all the steps that those were required, and it is after the Supreme Court's reprimands and all, and the way it said that Election Commission of India looks powerless, and it is about the image of Election Commission of India, that is a constitutional body. In article 3 to 4 all these things are mentioned, and how they are not powerless, that is not being shown by Election Commission of India. So this is talking about that. Now in this article again, it says about the elections process, and it says that this is a ethical act of voting. Normally for us it's a simple vote, and for the poor public and unaware public and the people who sell their votes for a pouch of liquor or maybe 100 rupees, 500 rupees, 2000 rupees, if anything is given to them, they will sell their vote. But it's a collective responsibility, it's a huge ethical act, and we must be aware at the best for this situation, because it is going to decide our future, and everything depends on politics. Every authority ultimately is guided by politics in this country, and these leaders, they wield a lot of authority. And it talks about their economic issues, that how they assess the situation of economics, the elections, that how much they are spending before the election and how much they are going to earn after the elections. So at those powerful positions, they may find a lot of loopholes to earn the money that is not under their authority. and they should not do those kind of corruption and all, but they do, because many loopholes are there. So it is a very ethical issue, it's a responsible issue, and the moral crisis which is there in our country, and the bigger one is the intellectual crisis. These two things need to be solved, otherwise our future is really deep dark. This article talks about the World Cup which is gonna be there this year, and the team is decided. 15 people are here, and not important much for our examination. Let's talk about the articles now. These are the words that I found today. In this article, S.Y. Qureshi points out all the problems, all the allegations which are there in the present time. We have discussed all of them, so no need to discuss about this particular part. This part is important for us. It says that Chief Election Commissioner is protected from being removed except through impeachment. Means only impeachment is the way we can throw out, or we can remove Chief Election Commissioner. So it is a very tough process to remove Chief Election Commissioner. But additional 2 election commissioners which were brought in 1989. In 1990 they were again removed, and only one CEC was left in the Authority of Election Commission of India. But again, since 1993 there are additional 2 election commissioners. Issue is there with the election commissioners, and issue is there with the appointment of chief election commissioners and these election commissioners. Both things are more in hand of central government, because president is going to appoint them, and president has not any opinion of its own, and he would appoint a person that would be suggested by Council of Ministers headed by Prime Minister. And if you talk about today, it is only Prime Minister. So this issue is more in favor of the ruling party, ruling government. Always, whatever be the case, if it is case about the past Congress governments or present NDA government, it's all similar the case, because the authority is given mainly to the central government. They are gonna give their names to president, and that would be appointed. But the removal is very difficult for CEC. Removal is easy for EC. Okay, provision is only for there for the CEC, because originally in the constitution only CEC authority was there in 1950 when it was established, and only one CEC was there. 2 election commissioners, additional election commissioners, they were brought up after the 69th amendment of 1988, when the minimum age was changed from 21 to 18 for voting. So after that, a lot of burden was there, and this argument was given that because of this burden we need additional election commissioners. So 2 election commissioners are there, 1 CEC is there. So the removal of CEC on the same grounds as we remove Supreme Court judge, that's a difficult process, and you see it's nearly impossible. Why? Because as we learned, central government that has an indirect role in appointment. Next, if they are going to bring an impeachment for CEC, then more than 50% means absolute majority plus special majority, means present and voting, and 2/3 of their majority, that is needed in both the houses to impeach CEC from there. And you see majority is there with the ruling party, so it is nearly impossible to impeach CEC if that person starts to favor the government or its moves. And this is the allegation today, that Election Commission of India is not working in a fair manner. It is more biased towards the ruling party, and there has been cases in the past also, okay, with the past governments also. So that is the problem. And here S.Y. Qureshi said that in 2012, when Mr. Advani ji and other people, they complained about it, and they said that the selection should be based on a selection committee, and that selection committee should be consisted of Prime Minister plus CJI plus Law Minister and the leader of oppositions in Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha. So this is how it is going to be balanced. But now it is not balanced, and the removal is also very, very difficult. Removal has been made difficult because it's a very important authority, and elections are the most important thing in our system. But these are people, and people may be biased. There is a possibility. If there is a possibility, then the selection should be extremely important, and the procedure should be balanced one. It should not be in favor of a particular party or the government. This is the case, and till the time it will remain, the allegations would be there. And this thing is really a good point by S.Y. Qureshi, because there is a systematic flaw here. Okay. And about the issues related to election commission also, that reputation also suffers when it is unable to tame recalcitrant political parties. You see, it cannot take strict actions right now. Under section 29A of the RPA Act, it has no power to deregister them even for the gravest of the violation. And that is why it's a huge problem, because politicians are not honest. They are sometimes worst of the people on earth, and they are so dramatic, they are so evil a personality sometimes, that it becomes a really horrible situation when Election Commission of India that cannot do anything about that. And that's really a problem. Reform was first suggested by CEC in 1998, and as Mr. T.N. Sessions' tenure was really a brilliant one, and he tried a lot to clean the politics. But after that, the measures were suggested. EC also submitted an affidavit to the Supreme Court last February saying it wanted to be empowered to deregister a political party, particularly in view of its constitutional mandate. But that was not allowed till now. So that is why elections are the bedrock of democracy, and EC's credibility is central to democratic legitimacy. And it was said by many scholars that if it is working in an unbiased manner, then it should work. But it should also look like that it is working in an unbiased manner, because it is going to affect the brain of the voter. And the confidence of the voter is extremely important in the election process, and the people should not be afraid of some kind of trickery in the country. They should believe that our system is a robust one, and the bodies, institutions are working in an unbiased and a balanced manner. Otherwise, in the democracy, trust would be gone. And if the trust is gone, and if trust is gone with the bodies like Election Commission of India, then nothing would be left in the terms of democracy. And it may turn into a chaos. And there are high possibilities that chaoses can be a reality in India, because it's a very hugely diverse country, and opinions differ a lot. Okay, here these things are given in the text, important provisions, and the things, the change, how they changed, and the chronology is given here. So you can read this text here. Okay, in the state there is a chief electoral officer, that is the highest body, and in the center CEC is there, and two election commissioners are there. They are equal in the power, and they have same vote as CEC has, and things are decided by the majority. That is again a problem. Means if two people and they are brought by a particular government and they favor the government, if it is a possibility, then certainly things are decided by the majority, and two people will have their own majority, so government would have their own way. This is how things are decided. So if CEC is not able to give a particular decision because he does not have the majority, and two people are against him, so he cannot do anything regarding that. So it is the issue of majority also, and that is why it is said that two people who were brought up there, they are a big problem sometimes. Okay, they are having same salaries and same as salary of the judge of the Supreme Court of India. This is the case with election commissioners, but they can be brought in very easily, they can be removed very easily. That is the situation. Okay, next, in this article, ethical act of voting, it says that it's ethical responsibility, as I told you, and politicians, in real terms, the writer says that they assess the situation, that if I am going to spend 5 crore rupees, and that's a reality, they spend crores of rupees in the election process, anywhere we can see it. So for example, the person assesses that I'm going to spend 5 crore rupees in advertisement, in alluring the voters and all, and later when I would be elected, I may earn fortunes, I may earn 10, 15, 30 crore rupees. And because of these loopholes which are available, because of these ultimate authorities which are given to the political classes and these people who are sitting there, and they trick the system because they have the certain authority. So this is how their economics works regarding the elections, and that is why we see thousands of crores of rupees they are being spent in the elections. So that is why ultimate responsibility is there on the voter. So if the voter is empowered, how it is going to be empowered? It is going to be empowered by education, awareness, learning about the Constitution of India, learning about the economics of India, the basic political procedures, and the balanced and imbalanced working. The knowledge should be there with the voter. Okay, what are their rights and what are their duties, and what is the constitutional values, what are these values, and what is our bedrock of the Constitution, what are the basic things which cannot be changed, the basic feature of the Constitution. So these things should be known to every person in India. But what is the reality? Most of the people, they do not know anything about these things, and they have emotions. They are normal people, so they can be provoked very, very easily. And the politicians, they are actually indulged in this extreme provoking these days, and there is no restraint, because Election Commission of India, it's a toothless body. Practically it is not able to do much, and whatever action they are taking, they do not look to be appropriate. So this is the issue of rationality, this is the issue of rational choice theory, and for the rationality all these things are needed, and mainly the education and the awareness. So that is why the ultimate need by the political class is that it educates people. They spend more money on the education, they spend more money on the primary health. If they are not doing so, that means they do not want them to be empowered, and they want them to remain weak in all sense, and mentally also, psychologically also, so that during the time of elections they can easily attract them. Okay, so it's a collective responsibility, and we should not sell our votes, and we should educate the poor people and the uneducated people about these things, and we should take interest in the politics. The problem with India is the intellectual class and the people who are able to think, who can decide about things and who can understand the trickeries. They do not vote, and they are not interested in politics. They even do not talk about these things. We should talk about these things. Every person should be interested in politics in India. Otherwise, the kind of politics we have, that will go on. It is a dirty politics. Politics is a very beautiful thing. It's a particular system, and it should be robust one. But the kind of politics we have, this is not politics. This is all trickery, because the able people, the educated people, they do not take interest here. So we are ignoring this ethical responsibility. Okay, and the case of voting is very, very specific, and all these things need to be changed and improved. And I have given you a particular question also for the mains perspective. You can write all these points, all these things here. I have given you all the perspectives related to all these issues. These articles will keep coming because these are based on election process. Next, rain and thunderstorm leave over 50 dead in 4 states. If I draw the map of India here, and you see Rajasthan and Gujarat and this particular 75-degree east longitudes, and this area near Delhi, northwest part, this particular part is more vulnerable with the western disturbances phenomena. Sometimes Rajasthan, Gujarat, MP, they are also affected. Why these happen? Because of the shifting of the ITCZ. What is ITCZ? 5 degree north, 5 degree south. This is a kind of a belt on both the sides of equator, and that shifts according to the time of the year. If these are the times of June and May, June, then this is gonna shift towards north, towards Tropic of Cancer, and that is running through India, and it will move towards Tropic of Capricorn if winters are coming. So during winters, mainly during the months of December, January, February, it remains near the southern hemisphere and near Australia. So at that time, all these belts, they also shift towards south. So the belt which used to be here in normal times, it comes up to here over Mediterranean Sea. This is a temperate region that comes here, and the westerlies which flow near the 50-degree northern latitude, they flow at this particular region. So they will take humidity from a Mediterranean Ocean and they will rain in these areas during winters. So Kashmir, snowfall, Himachal Pradesh and all these areas, Punjab region, they get rains or these snowfalls during winters, and this is all because of this region. And sometimes the unique instances and very uncommon instances of thunderstorms, heavy rains, they are there in Punjab, Haryana, Rajasthan, Delhi region, and these are western disturbances, and this is all because of this belt shifting, and this happens till the month of April or maybe till May sometimes. Okay, so this is all western disturbances, and a lot of devastation they bring because people are unaware about that, and they are untimely and they are sudden. Okay, sometimes when these in months of March, April, May, when the heat rises a lot because it is the continental factor in the northern India, heat rises because sunshine is too much in these days, so temperature rises, air pressure becomes extremely low, then these sudden thunderstorms, they come and they bring a lot of devastation. So this was the example of this destruction. It was the western disturbance phenomena. Okay, and it remains limited to the northwestern part of India, but sometimes these areas are also affected, and mainly these are western regions. Okay, next, phase 2 is going on. Mainly Tamil Nadu, Karnataka and all these states, they are going through polls, and 91 constituencies are going to vote today. So it's a huge phase. Next, information, sometimes these kind of information come regarding some folk dance, some kind of a music form, some kind of art, or some kind of a tribal ways, and this is about Chenchus. They are mainly nomadic people. They do not do any kind of agriculture or something like that. They are not pastoralists. They are nomadic hunter and gatherers. Okay, and they are found Nalamala Hills region of the Andhra Pradesh, south to Krishna river. Okay, so this may be asked, and these air tribals are going to be very, very important. A lot of things related to their cancellation of claims in their lands, FRA, PESA Act, these are going to be very, very important, and that is why these tribes like Toda Bhim in Tamil Nadu region, northwestern Tamil Nadu region, Irulas in Kerala, Andhra Pradesh, Chenchus and all, they will remain very important this year, and the tribes of northeast and Odisha's tribes and central India's tribes. Go through the list and get some details regarding them. Okay, if these are involved in agriculture, if these are hunter and gatherers, or there are some snake charmers like Irulas and all, so what are their specific details? Go through them. Now, zinc deficiency, this report is given internationally by Indians, for Indians, that they are zinc deficient, and zinc is an important mineral, and excess and deficiency, that will bring all these consequences. So you can read it here, and you see this issue is going to rise with the rise of carbon dioxide levels in coming decades. And about the zinc, if I tell you, zinc is important. Zawar mines in India, in southern Rajasthan, in Udaipur region, a very famous region, there these Zawar mines are there, and maximum amount of production of zinc is there with these mines. Okay, so these details are going to be important, and you can see these foods are important zinc sources. So this detail may be asked. One question every year is regarding the minerals and health issues and all. Next, Trump vetoes the bill which was restricting USA to support the Yemen war. As I told you earlier also, that president in USA that has enormous power, and this bill which was brought up in Senate by a particular candidate, and they said that within 30 days America has to stop supporting Saudi Arabia in the Yemen war, and whatever is going on as a crisis there, USA should not be involved in that. But Trump says it is a kind of a curtailing in my power, and they want to weaken my power, and I would veto this particular move, and it is not possible for us to support this particular ongoing situation, because they are selling a lot of weapons to Saudi Arabia and all, and indirectly they are involved in the Yemen war, because Houthis are fighting there, and Houthis are supported by Iran, and USA is the enemy of Iran, and everything is taken as a step by Trump against Iran. So this is the situation, and this thing you should remember, that president is extremely powerful in America. Only that is why only for 2 terms he or she can stay in power. So this is the first term, and maximum 2 terms can be there for Trump, and he can veto any kind of legislation passed by the Congress. Next, US astronaut, the Christina Koch, she's gonna break the record, and she will stay for the longest period of time in space and in the space station mainly. But she's not able. She's not going to break the record of Scott Kelly. That was for 340 days. This was more than 11 months. She is gonna stay for 11 months, and the present record is for 288 days, and she's gonna break that. So the first woman who is gonna stay for the longest period of time in the space. So Christina Koch is the name. Next, Mars base simulator means a simulation of this particular you may say a building, you may say a particular base which will be there on Mars after some years, and all the scientists of this world, they are trying to make this thing possible. So simulations are going on in the Gobi Desert. Similar kind of situations are there. Water is not available, area is very much remote and inaccessible, and all conditions are very, very harsh as they are on Mars. So a kind of simulation is done here. Right now it's more educational institute, but from 2020 they will make it a Mars base one. It's a simulator of that Mars base that we are going to bring on Mars planet, and it is the Gobi Desert. One question I've also given you for this Gobi Desert as a geography question, and this picture is very much touching. You see, in Japan the situation is like that the population of old people, that is rising with a very high speed, because the average age is more than 80-90 years in Japan. So many people are old, and they are living a lonely life, mainly in the countryside. Very less people are there. Population is not rising that much, and young people's number, that is very less compared to India's situation, where 67% people are youth. So the old people's population is close to 6% in India, and it is very high in European countries and in Japan. So it's a social situation. We should think about that also, because things will be there in India also after 30-40 years. The similar kind of situations would be there because of the medical revolution. Average age is rising, but the condition is troublesome. Next, these are the questions and important details you should find as an associated data with these questions, and certainly you will find a lot of things in the prelims this year. Thanks a lot, keep watching, and this is the mains practice question. Thanks a lot, keep watching. It was Amit Saini.